I want you to imagine the 2018 and 2019 season of the MLB. What was the number one thing that was going on that it was always talked about almost every single day during those seasons? Now, if you're just like me, you might have guessed it. Christian Yelich and how dominant he was in the pitch. In 2018, when he won the MVP and showed amazing stats, but in 2019, when it was a race between Christian Yelich and Cody Bellinger, going back and forth and back and forth, and they had similar stats and nobody knew who was going to win. And unfortunately, Christian Yelich did get injured, and if you asked me, I really think Christian Yelich deserved that MVP, but that's besides the point. Ever since 2019, when he broke his kneecap, a lot of people are asking, what happened to Prime Yelich? Why can Yelich not be the same player? And you can say the same thing about Cody Bellinger, but we're not talking about him today. That's a video for a different day. Today we're going to focus on Christian Yelich and what happened to Christian Yelich, and actually the rise of Christian Yelich. Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Leave a like, leave a comment. It really helps out a ton. Anyways, back to the video. In 2018, in Christian Yelich's first year as a Milwaukee Brewer, he showed absolutely amazing numbers to the point where he won the NL MVP, beating Javier Baez and Nolan Arenado. His stats were a batting average of .326, a slugging of .598, and an OPS of 1. He had a total of 36 home runs as well. And that was 2018. Now if you look into 2019, he was absolutely demolishing those numbers like no other. He had a batting average of .329, a slugging of .671, and an OPS of 1.1. He had a total of 44 home runs, and get this, he had a lot less games because he did get injured in September. So he did finish second place in the NL MVP. Cody Bellinger did in fact beat him, and Cody Bellinger's stats were as is, with a batting average of .305, a slugging of .629, and an OPS of 1.035, with home runs totaling 47. So yes, his numbers and Christian Yelich's numbers were going back, forth, and it was a very close race, a very interesting thing going on in 2019, and deep down, if you ask me, I think Christian Yelich should have won, but that injury really did make him, I feel, lose the MVP, but hey, that's the past. It was truly tragic seeing Christian Yelich get injured in September before the playoffs, missing the playoffs. But I feel like one of the biggest questions coming out of this 2019 season is Christian Yelich going to be the same player that he was in 2018, in 2019? Because he did break his kneecap. Now, one of the biggest things that a lot of people get from this is it's the kneecap. But not a lot of people actually acknowledge what the bigger picture is. And throughout the years as a Milwaukee Brewer fan, one of the biggest issues that Christian Yelich had, and he did have surgery for this in the 2024 season, was his back issues. His back issues have been an issue since the beginning of his career in the major leagues. It's been an ongoing issue, and it finally got to him after the 2020 season. Now, this has been a reoccurring instance ever since he joined the majors, but it specifically has been a big issue stating back to the 2019 season. You look at his injury log, and there was multiple times where he was sitting out of a game, or he was gone for multiple weeks due to back issues, back spasms, sore back, and not a lot of people talked about this. I feel like it got swept under the rug. So we look at his 2020 stats, which, once again, we're not going to completely avoid and say, hey, it wasn't the knee, because the knee's a huge injury. But you look at the 2020 stats, and it was a weird year because it was the COVID year, but it was just unlike him. Batting average of .205, a slugging of .430, an OPS of .786. So the OPS is good, but still really under from his MVP seasons. He had a total of 12 home runs. So he did really struggle in 2020. But then you look at 2021 and it didn't get any better. He had a .248 batting average, a slugging of .373, and an OPS of .736. And he had a total at bats of 475. Then you look at 2020, he finally got high at bats again, right? But the batting average still was not there. He had a batting average of .252, a slugging of .383, an OPS of .738, home runs 14. In 14 home runs in 671 at bats. You look at the 2018 numbers. He had 36 home runs. His 2019, 44 home runs. So he digressed a huge amount after that 2019 season of greatness. And 2023, now this is where things started looking good for Christian Yelich. And it went under the radar, but a batting average of .278, a slugging of .447, an OPS of .818, and 19 home runs. Now, the home runs were down compared to the MVP season, but the numbers started to look up compared to 2021, .248, 2022, .252. It finally is looking up. So then you look in the 2024 season. Once again, during all this time, he was having issues with that back. There was multiple games where he would miss games due to back spasms, back soreness. And 2024 finally hit the line. Now, 2024 is not talked about enough. At one point, if you asked me, Christian Yelich was in the top 5 candidates for NL MVP race. He was absolutely lights out. Christian Yelich started the 2024 season absolutely strong. From March 29, all the way to April 12, he had an average of .33 and a slugging of .744 with an OPS of 1.166. If you do not tell me that does not look like 2018 Yelich, I don't know what is. But he looked absolutely fantastic. But then, what struck? The common injury that Christian Yelich has been dealing with almost all his career. He got back pain, back soreness. He was put in the IL, but did come back May 8th. And once again, you would think he would slow down, but he was absolutely dominant to the point where he was selected as an all-star. And once again, I personally think that he was at one point in the NL MVP race. He was never going to beat Ohtani. Let's make that very clear. He was never going to beat Ohtani, but he was a top candidate. Like, he should have been in that race. And he finished off strong, the 2024 season strong. His last game was in July 23. He finished with an average of .314, a slugging of .504, an OPS of .909 with 11 home runs and only 270 at-bats. He finished absolutely amazing. The home runs, once again, not as crazy as 2019, but they were up. All these numbers were up compared to the 2020 season, the 2021 season, the 2022 season. Christian Yelich finally looked like his former self, but unfortunately, once again, after that all-star break, back soreness came back, back pains came back, and at this point in time, Christian Yelich took time off to decide whether it was best to either sit out a few games, go in the IL, or is it a possibility to do surgery at this point, which would take him out for the 2024 season. And it is July. There's still August. There's still September. The Brewers were in a great spot to the point where it seemed like they were going to make the playoffs. And it's a hard decision when you know this team's going to make the playoffs. This team is young. This team is strong. People like Willy Adames, it's their last year. It's the last ride for a lot of these people. And it was a really hard decision, but ultimately, Yelich decided to get surgery. And it was really heartbreaking for one, the player, and two, for the fans, of course. You see how great Christian Yelich was playing for the Milwaukee Brewers, and the last thing you want to see him is go on the IL. But hey, here's the bright side. This is the rise of Christian Yelich, and I don't feel like a lot of people talk about it a lot. Christian Yelich had one of the most under the rug 2024 seasons, in my opinion. Yes, he did get the All-Star, but not a lot of people talked about how he went from poor numbers 2021, 2020, 2022, and then he started showing all that strength back in 2024 in the 2025 season, to the point where he's looking great. He's looking absolutely marvelous, and it just makes me excited for the 2025 season. He is back. Prime Yelich is back. The 2025 season, I'm really excited to see what he's going to do for the 2025 season. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I feel like it's something that had to be spoken about. Those back pains, man. Christian Yelich, those back pains. If it wasn't for those back pains, Christian Yelich would be absolutely dominant. But if you've made it to the end of this video, please subscribe, leave a like, comment some suggestions down below on what type of videos you want to see. I'm really pushing to do a Cody Bellinger video soon. The rise, the fall, and Cody Bellinger sure does have a rise for sure. But yeah, I'll catch you guys on another day. Bye.